Hey there, Griever Gang. Welcome back to Griever Productions. We're here still with more Spooky Week stuff. This particular one, I haven't done a video like this in quite some time where I compare the same song over the course of several different artists. But frankly, you can't have a Spooky Week without Thriller. You can't. I'm just going to say it. As we know, Thriller, Michael Jackson's song, if I remember rightly, it's still the best-selling album of all time? I could be wrong. I know it was overtaken by the Eagles at one point, but there was some conjecture over that. There was some controversy over that because it was the Eagles' greatest hits. It wasn't an album of the Eagles. It was a greatest hits compilation. So that's interesting. Yes, a little interjection here by Future Jim. Now for some tea. To add to this controversy, the Eagles' greatest hits overtook it, and then Michael Jackson's Thriller album overtook it again because the re-release of the Thriller album for its anniversary was counted in the initial sales for the album. No idea why they decided to do this, but hey, I mean, the album deserves to be there, right? I might be talking complete crap. I need to fact check myself on that one. But anyway, so we've got three different versions, and these bands are going to be very different. First of all, we've got Dirty Loops, which I've listened to these guys before, and some of the covers that they've done, I've got to be completely honest, if a lot of those songs were released the way that Dirty Loops did them, I'd actually listen to those songs more. I'm not going to lie. So I cannot praise Dirty Loops enough. They are incredible at what they do. And then we're going to follow that up with two kind of known full-blown vocal groups in the case of both Voiceplay and Forestella. And the reason that I put those two specifically, well, firstly, I've only got three versions here because the song is relatively long, right? The reason that I've got Voiceplay and Forestella in here is not because I want to pair them up and go, which one is better? That's not the case at all. Both of them are predominantly vocal groups, and I want to kind of give a commentary on how they both handle it in their different styles of being a quote-unquote vocal group. So I'm very keen to see all of these. I definitely haven't seen Dirty Loops do Thriller. I have definitely not seen Forestella do it. I can't remember if I've seen Voiceplay do it or not. I probably have, but I can't remember. So we're just going to go through these anyway. If I have, whatever. We'll just go with it. So, before we begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help if you have not subscribed. I'd highly appreciate it if you did so. And if you like what we do on the channel, there's more ways you can help at the end. So without any further ado, let's start with Dirty Loops singing Michael Jackson's Thriller. Oh, very nice. Oh, yes! I knew that bass line was going to be fat.
It's close to midnight. Something's even lurking in the dark.
Oh, that's so cool.
You see the set that I almost touched your heart. You try to scream.
Oh, yeah!
Down before you make it. You start to freeze as I look right between your eyes. You're paralyzed. 'Cause there's a thriller.
Oh my god! Oh, there's so much. Oh, shit! Oh my god! I love this so much. So, I should have given a little bit of a warning when it comes to Dirty Loops. What they tend to do is add these juicy, jazzy bass lines to things, and they kind of fall into a more jazzy sort of feel to it. I don't know if that's how they kind of class themselves, or if that's kind of the genre that they're sort of like more so seen as. But my god, they do a good job. In fact, their bass player convinced me, like just watching their bass player, I say convinced like I've spoken to them, and to be completely honest, I would love to. Please come on the show. Please! But it was their bass player that I watched and was like, I'm gonna actually start buying. Well, I'm gonna buy and start playing a 6-string bass guitar. Seriously, it was them that made me do it, because there was just so much that you could do. There's so much range to a 6-string bass, and the way that he played it, he made it so he makes it look so damn easy. It makes it look so easy. It's not at all. But like, oh my god. And now I gotta go back to, because the vocal, you know, that's my big commentary point. I'm a vocal coach. Who'd have thunk it, right? The control this gentleman has is insane. It always gives me a very Stevie Wonder vibe, tone-wise. It's a very similar sort of tone. Not only that, the way that he approaches his notes, when he tackles certain notes, it shares a little bit of a feature of Stevie Wonder's music, in the sense that when he goes for a note, it's right on that note. A lot of people tend to like either slide a little bit, or like start, you know, maybe like a quarter tone, you know, below, and then kind of come up to it. And it's it's totally fine to do that, by the way. But the accuracy this gentleman has when going from, like, when hitting his notes, but not only that, when sliding from one note to the next, the accuracy is just pinpoint. It is Terminator-like accuracy. I swear to God, and it is wonderful. But the slides and stuff that he does is just brilliant. Also, God, this bass line. Oh my God. Oh. That, I love that. Between the eyes, the way that he does that part there, the way he slides that. Between the eyes, the way he does that, the accuracy between hitting the original notes, sliding into the next part, and the diction is just, oh. I love this band. Oh God, I love this band. Okay. You see by that line what I mean by very Stevie Wonder sort of vocal? The way that he kind of changed that melody line. It's a very similar methodology that Stevie uses. I wonder if he's inspired by him. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, look, if you're going to be a piano player and sing at the same time, you look at Stevie. It's an unspoken law at this point, and it's almost. It should almost be illegal to not do that. You know what I mean? Like, it is... So I wouldn't be surprised by any stretch, but it is just so uncanny the way that he goes about it, yet still maintains his own style and feel and tonality, because... As I keep saying, you know, there is only one of such and such, like only one Stevie Wonder. He's not trying to be Stevie Wonder. You can tell that he takes inspiration from the way that Stevie Wonder does his stuff, but it's not like him trying to be Stevie Wonder. He doesn't, it's just, it's so good, so good. Go back, do that run again. My God, the precision. I keep going on about this. I keep going on about this guy's vocal precision. You can't do a run like this if you don't have that insane control and that brain power to know exactly where you've got to be at the right time. It is just, listen to this. Next one. Next one. Otherwise, so good. That one. Sorry, it was actually that one. You're out of time. No, how'd it go? You're out of time. I need to hear it again. Time. I've missed a couple of notes in there, but it like, did he add a seventh chord with that? That there? Did he? Is that what he did there, or did he go from the major to the minor to the major, major to the minor? He did something there. I don't know what it is. He did an incredible job. It's so good. I want one more. Oh. I want to cry. See, this is the thing. They keep adding these extra notes and like changing the harmony and the melody structures, and it's so them. It's so them. If you have not gone and watched other Dirty Loop songs, they do such incredible jobs. Rolling in the Deep by Adele, Circus by Britney Spears, even Baby by Justin Bieber. These songs, if they were released the way that Dirty Loops do them, I'd actually listen to those songs. I do listen. I religiously go back and actually listen to those versions of the songs, especially when I'm saying to people, hey, have you heard this band? No? Have a listen to this. And they go, I don't like that song. Just wait, because you will. I guarantee that you will. And this is just so cool. I said jazz before. It's more funk than it is anything else. And that funky bass line, like that funk, it is a fat bass line. And I spell that fat with a PH, with a capital PH. It's so fat. It's so good. I'm gonna shut up. Okay, there's still another 4 minutes of this version left to go. I'm glad we're only looking at 3 songs here, because oh my god, how do I even begin to talk about this? Like, there is something. Here's the big thing for me, right? Is it's so exciting to listen to a band like this because of how talented each of them are. The way that this song has been performed... Actually, let's go back in time here, because it needs to be rearranged to be like this. The arrangement is so good. The song itself is brilliant. You would never think Thriller could be done as a funky jazz song. And it's just brilliant. And the vocal work, the bass work, the brass and and wind section that's behind them. And not only, so it's usually just the three guys in Dirty Loops, but not only just that, so it's usually piano, dropping my pen, piano, bass, drums, and vocal, right? But it's the three members, okay? They've got the guitarist in here, and they've got all of those other guys doing like the saxophone and all that sort of stuff, right? And each one of those guys are equally as talented to be able to pull this stuff off. That is so exciting for me because it tells me that these musicians still exist. Do they have the platform? Maybe not, because it seems that mainstream doesn't allow, and I don't mean to use mainstream as a derogatory term, I know a lot of people will think that, but in a lot of cases, what is considered mainstream is basically spoon-fed, force-fed into our gullets, and you don't hear a lot of this stuff until you go searching for it, and it's so exciting that these guys exist. Oh, it shows that this musicianship does still exist, and it's out there. We've just got to bloody find it, and I'm all here for it. Let's keep going. Oh, it's so good. What have you done? What have you done? What have you done? My brain can't follow musically what they've done here. Because during all of that, that is something you would see in like a musical theatre section, but specifically like a Stephen Sondheim musical, not just any Rodgers and Hammerstein basic thing. And I don't mean that badly towards Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals; they are incredible. But like that is like a Stephen Sondheim type inspired transition thing there, right? And then what have you done to the structure? It's I don't get it, and I love it. How do I follow this with other versions of this song now? How do I reset my brain? How, like, electric shock therapy? Is that what needs to happen now? Is that how I reset my brain? That may have been my favorite thing that I've reacted to on this channel. And we've got two things to follow that up with. I have set this up for I have done the wrong thing. Guys, if you have not gone to look at Dirty Loops, highly advise. That was insane. And now we need to move on. I'm going to go into Voiceplay's version of Thriller now. No, let's look at Voiceplay. Let's move on. I can speak for hours on how cool that was. I'm not going to right now. Let's continue on. It rebooted me. Oh my god.
It's close to midnight, and something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it.
The runs that J-Nun does are brilliant. Like, seriously, there's so much control in them. But I want to go back here. When he sang the line, see a sign that almost stops your heart, right? But he actively didn't say the word stops. I want to just go back over that line, because did they structurally change that line? Or is that beat for the word stop still there? I couldn't quite process it. But this has actively reset my brain. Like, it has hit me with another wall of sound to just be enamored by. This is brilliant. Let me hear that again.
Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost your heart.
Okay, all right. So they didn't actively change. All right, cool. There is still the break in there. For some reason in my brain, I thought that they'd cut that beat out of the song. I don't know why I thought that, but it almost had that same effect. But that run,
The
man.
moonlight, you see a sight that almost your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes
Crazy
the sound before you make it.
There
You
too.
start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. You hear the
Okay, I love the uniqueness of every one of their voices. Like,
sound before you make it.
you can tell who's singing at any one time.
Start
Listen.
to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. You hear the door slam and realize there's nowhere left to run. You feel the cold and wonder if you'll ever see the sun. You close your eyes.
That's brilliant.
And hope that this is just imagination. Yeah. But all the while, you hear a creature creeping up behind. You're out of time. 'Cause this is thriller.
Oh my god.
Hello,
I love. Oh god, the combination of these voices, man. Because I've said this before. Actually, I'm not sure if I've said about these guys specifically, but the combination of voices is incredibly unique. Their voices are so incredibly different, to the point where, like, if I had students, right, that each had these voices, I probably wouldn't think to put them in a vocal group together, because I would be concerned that their voices might clash. But somehow, and I suppose it just shows the professionalism of how these guys work, and how long they've worked together as well at this point, is that they know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they know where to put each voice. I know that a lot of people, when they look at Voiceplay, right, the thing that they are most blown away by is Jeff. And don't get me wrong, same. It's part of why I try to not point it out as much. But there's got to be something said for the uniqueness and clarity of that lower voice as well. Because the thing that we don't talk about often, right? And I think this is why Jeff gets a lot more kind of notoriety than, say, any of the other members, is because he can hit those crazy subharmonic notes, right? But people don't understand, when it comes to music, when it comes to drums and bass, they are your rhythm section. When it comes to a band scenario, you live or die by your rhythm section. It is not only what keeps everything in time, but it is also what changes the feel of your music. For instance, in that last song, right, a lot of the music stayed the same. Like in the Dirty Loops version of Thriller, a lot of the musicality stayed the same. You heard all of those riffs that were very much akin to the original, yet the bass and the drums had changed the style up so much that the whole genre changed. And this is why I think people haven't realized why Jeff gets so much notoriety here. It's because that bass, especially in a vocal scenario, right? Because don't get me wrong, we have the beatboxing and the drum beat underneath as well. And the combination of that with the bass line is what sets the tonality, the mood, the genre for the rest of the performance. Because even here, we can hear that that bass is really accentuated, right? To kind of give it a new feel. Yet, if we remove all of those away, and we have these guys singing the melody line over the top of any run-of-the-mill backing track, it fits and it becomes a Michael Jackson cover. However, that bass and drum beat together in this make this a Voiceplay song. Does that make sense? I like, it is so important that that stuff gets done right, and they do it so right all the way through. It's so brilliant, and these guys are just crazy talented, honestly.
Gonna sing it from the beast about to strike. You know it's Thriller, Thriller night.
You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight.
And that's another thing too. Jeff comes out, starts singing melody. That bass line drops because from what they tend to do, they don't like. If somebody's singing the melody, they don't have them singing a track underneath, because realistically, if they were to do that live, right, they would want to be able to replicate it as accurately as possible. And it sounds like a breakdown in the music, so it sounds like the music cuts out. There's no music, it's all the voices. You know what I mean? Like, it's the way that our brains are wired. They understand the science behind it, is what I'm saying. And they do such a good job of really taking the science of that and making their covers as best as they could possibly do. So good. Crazy there.
Thriller night. Night creatures calling the dead start to walk in their masquerade. There's no escaping the jaws of the end in the time. This is the end of your life.
They're out to get you. There's demons closing in on every side.
I love their videos, man.
They will possess you unless you change that number on your dial.
Now is the time for you and I to cuddle.
Do that again. That slide. Duh.
Now
Duh. Oh, he started lower than I even thought.
You unless you change that number on your dial.
Now is
Duh. That's crazy low. Crazy low.
the time for you and I to cuddle close together. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. All through the night, I'll save you from the terror on the screen. I'll make you see that this is Thriller, Thriller night. 'Cause I can thrill you more than any cool would ever dare try. Thriller night. So let me hold you tight and share a killer, thriller, killer, thriller, killer, thriller tonight.
Oh, man.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell.
Thriller night. Oh, it's Thriller night.
The foulest stench is in the air. The funk from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver. For no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
I'm gonna do it now. Girl, I can tell you more than any cool. Thriller.
Oh, just everything, every decision they make. I love their videos. And I actually have a question, because I wonder, I'd love to talk to somebody that was in the recording room when Thriller was created, right? Because the that spoken part, the foulest stenches in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, all that sort of stuff. I want to know if that was just recorded and then put to the music later, or if, like, the music was, like, sped up or slowed down to go with that, or if the music was played as they voiced it over. I'd love to know, because it fits almost too perfectly for it to have just been, you know, recorded. Do you know what I mean? But if I was Michael Jackson writing this as well, I don't know, would I have played the music for him? I don't know. Because, like, I suppose that the difference between then and now, right, is that now a lot of things leak online and you can hardly keep any form of secrets. Like, the fact that, like, as an example, right, Square Enix, who run the Final Fantasy franchise, when they got Matthew Mercer in to voice a character, they told him that he'd be voicing background characters, didn't tell him that they wanted him for a specific character, and then basically told him in a really fun and inventive way, when he was in the studio, that they wanted him to play Vincent Valentine. The reason that they did that is to keep it hush-hush and not to have people leaking anything and that sort of thing. If you haven't seen that video of Matt Mercer actually discussing that, it's a very, very interesting, very, very interesting little video. But I suppose at the time we didn't have that issue, but if I was to do this now and say I knew that I was onto something brilliant, right? Like, say Thriller never came out and I started writing Thriller now, and I knew that I'm onto something brilliant, right? I would probably get somebody to record those lines without showing them the music, in case it were to get out. I don't know. I'd love to know. All of that for me to say, I would love to know how the process worked.
So let me hold you tight. Killer, thriller, killer, thriller, killer, thriller.
I can't believe I paused it there and the end was literally just like a second away. That's so
Hey everyone, thanks for watching Voiceplay's Thriller featuring Jay Nunn. If you'd like to see all of our videos early, get an in-depth look behind the scenes, and get a...
Wow, what can I say? Like, that's another one. If you guys have not subscribed to Voiceplay at this point, that's another one. You just need to go and do it. You just need to go and do it. It's super important. Like, the stuff that they release is just brilliant, time and time again. And even now that I've watched that, I don't even remember if I've seen it before. But anyway, give me just a moment. I'm going to grab a drink, and I'll be back, and then we're going to go through the Forestella one. Hello. Very coffee-filled, sleep-deprived editor Jim here. I just wanted to interject in this moment and explain, I don't know what happened to my recording equipment again, but it seems that Spooky Week has just decided to play havoc with all of my things. Basically, I went and grabbed a drink, I came back, and everything seemed to be working, but there was a whole heap of things. I had to play around with a couple of the videos that I was looking at for this one, because, like, certain videos weren't opening, and then there was one channel with, like, 8 or 9 different versions of the same song that were all from different angles that somebody had recorded with their phone in their hand. And this particular one was the specific one that was linked to me. So this is the one that I've gone with, but I'll let you guys know that it is only focusing on one, like the video itself is only focusing on one member of Forestella, We will see glimpses of the others, but do keep in mind it is only a phone recording, so the sound ain't great. And you will only see the one member pretty much of Forestella. But it's still a good performance. And I've said it before, my job is auditory, not visual. So let's give it a look. Okay, sorry, I was I questioned the one that I was looking at, and I'll start this one again because this is the one that I was linked to. So we're just gonna have a listen and go for it, right? Sorry, that feedback sound. I'm so sorry. That is one of the worst sounds ever. So I think that this is fan recorded. So we've got to keep that in mind when we're watching this as well. I love the audience interaction straight away. Actually, that is a point too. If it wasn't a fan reaction, we wouldn't have heard those claps as well. We would have just been hearing what was coming through the microphones. So I really appreciate actually hearing this. Wow.
That almost stopped your heart. You said speak, but then it takes to sign before you make it. You said please, as all the looks you like between the eyes. You're paralyzed, 'cause in the daylight, it's still at night, and no one's gonna see from the beast of one sight. You know it's daylight, it's still at night.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So I want to point out straight off the bat, being fan recorded, right? This one it's difficult to hear all of the nuance that's going on. And it's definitely not showing them in the light that a full-blown, like, recording would show. But there is something to be said for how brilliantly they still have, like, they get all those that harmony work in. Their timing, their diction, their precision as well. That's another one. Like, when it comes to singing songs in a vocal group like this that focus so hard on harmonies, and the same with Voiceplay as well, something that both groups have is this incredible precision. And it seems to be a running theme with these guys that I'm looking at today. The precision is so important in these groups, and it's so good.
You'll be the door, stay. I realize it's no will have to run. I wonder if you ever see the sun. You close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination.
I love it. Okay, so the super cool thing that I'm really loving here, right, is that, like, I've seen in my comments a lot of people speculate that they're not actually singing, right? But it is a video. This video, you can tell that they are. You can see when their mouths open, and exactly as that mouth opens is exactly when the sound comes out. And we're now, like, I'm now at that stage where I can start to recognize the voice and know who's who, right? This is so good for me, because this would shut up anybody that thinks that they're just not singing. But I wonder if there are backing vocalists beyond them, because I think I'm hearing something else in addition to them singing. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Just calling the distance, the working in masquerade.
Amazing.
Oh, is that you see? The funk of funny nose in the air. And I'm easily moved from every tuba.
Show everybody. Come on. Ah! Love that. Whoa, what? Hang on, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened there? Hang on. I know that sound. In fact, it has instilled a fear in me that when I heard it, I think a light blew? A stage light? I need to do some research into this.
So that we hold the tiny shiner, killer, freedom. I'm gonna teach you now. 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 I'm gonna teach you now.
Brilliant. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into final thoughts, and I'll discuss the Forestella one, and then we'll wrap up all three. Alright, cool. So, this one is an interesting one, and putting this at the end was probably not a great idea, but I didn't realize that it was a fan-recorded one. I probably would have put it at the start if I had known prior. I probably should have looked. That's okay. I obviously noticed that the person that was filming this was only focusing on the one member. As I said in one of the previous videos, my job is auditory. It's all here. So I'm when it comes to the video, it's nice that it exists. Not necessary, to be completely honest, when it comes to an actual vocal breakdown. Something that I love about Forestella, it is another band that if I was a teacher and teaching these four individuals, right, I wouldn't have thought to put their vocals together, personally. I just wouldn't, because they are so incredibly different that I don't know, like, a part of my brain would be like, I don't know if these are going to work or not. So, as a wrap-up for the entire three, let me know in the comments what one surprised you the most, and let me know which one you guys enjoyed the most, because it's impossible for me to say which one is technically better, because everything when it comes to music is completely objective. For instance, for me, my preferred version of the three is the Dirty Loops one. You can probably tell from my reaction. I can appreciate that in the case of Dirty Loops, sometimes, for some people, that can be too much for them. It can. There's too much going on, and people don't like it to be changed that much. I completely understand that, and that is completely subjective to the person. But it is incredible to see three incredibly different renditions of this song. Now, Forestella's one obviously kept most to the original, but did their Forestella thing of the additional harmony work and insane harmony work, may I add. That the stuff they do is just crazy. It shows you, too, what I was saying about how, during the Voiceplay version, like the difference between the renditions of the song, right? Had they have changed the drum beat in the bass version in the Forestella version, it would have changed the genre of it. Very much like we had in the Voiceplay one, where Voiceplay's version was kind of more dance music than the kind of pop song that it was released as. And then you've got Dirty Loops that made it into a funk song, and my God, they do just wonderful things. Just insane. So yeah, you guys let me know which ones you liked. Let me know if you didn't like one of them. Let me know what your feelings and thoughts are. And like a favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe to all that sort of thing. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, feel free to go over to Patreon and support us for as little as $3 Australian per month. By doing so, you'll join the list of wonderful people here. Also, if you're into gaming, I have recently rebooted my gaming channel, so feel free to go over there and have a look. Link to both the Patreon and the gaming channel in the description below.